Have you ever texted her, and then seen a cold blue check mark? Or worse, completely ignored? Trust me, you're not alone. But after today, that will end. In this video, I'll reveal a simple yet incredibly effective psychological strategy that makes women not only notice you, but become drawn to you. No more seen and no reply. No more being forgotten. Just do this, and you'll see a clear difference. Part 1. Why women really ignore you. Ignoring is never random. When a woman doesn't reply to your message, it doesn't mean she's busy. It means you're not on her emotional priority list. The feeling of being seen but not replied to leaves many men confused and ego bruised. But the first thing to understand is, this behavior has deep roots in a woman's brain, not in malice or an intent to hurt you. Female psychology breakdown. Emotions drive attention. Women respond to emotions, not logic. They don't think, oh, he's kind, so I'll pay attention. They think, why does he make me curious? A bit annoyed. Yet I can't stop thinking about him. No strong emotions equals forgotten. The nicer and more polite you are, the easier it is to blend in with the 100 other men out there. A woman's brain has a region that reacts strongly to surprise and unpredictability. If you're always predictable, reply instantly, and are always available, you're turning yourself into background noise in her life. Women don't ignore you because you're not good enough, but because you don't make them feel anything special. Illustrative story: 2 types of men. Opposite outcomes. Character A, Mr. Nice Guy. Texts good morning, have a great day every morning. Likes every story, hearts every post. When she doesn't reply, he follows up, are you busy? Just wanted to check if you're okay. Result, never gets her attention. Gradually ignored completely. Character B, the unpredictable man. Only texts with a purpose. Messages are short, direct, and full of personality. Never double texts if there's no reply. Has his own life, posts stories about the gym, books he's reading, or social activities. Result, she proactively reaches out after a few days. How have you been lately? Conclusion of Part 1. Emotions are currency. In relationships, your value doesn't lie in kindness, but in your ability to spark emotions and make women think about you. When you're too available, you become invisible. She's not ignoring you, she just doesn't see a reason to care. So, what do you do to turn the tables? How do you make her not only notice you, but become obsessed with your presence? The answer lies in Part 2, a psychological strategy that's incredibly simple, yet astonishingly effective. Part 2, the one strategy that makes women unable to ignore you. 1. Introducing the strategy, detachment plus high-value behavior. What makes women pay attention isn't grand promises or relentless pursuit. It's the calm, almost cold confidence of a man who doesn't need to try to be loved. This strategy has 2 key components: detachment, emotional independence. High-value behavior, actions that reflect a high-value man. When you combine both, you break the vicious cycle of the harder you try, the more you're ignored. 2. Detachment, the attraction of not needing. Detachment isn't about fake coldness, it's about genuine self-assurance. You don't text first. You don't expect a reply. You're not afraid of losing a woman, because your self-worth doesn't depend on her reactions. How does a woman's psychology respond? When you're silent, she starts thinking about you. When you don't reply immediately, she wonders what you're doing. When you naturally disappear, she feels a sense of loss. If you don't need her, she'll start to feel like she needs you. 3. High-value behavior, the actions of a man with options. High-value men don't say I'm valuable, they act in ways that make others feel it. Example, when she says, I'm busy tonight, maybe tomorrow, an average man might say, sure, tomorrow works. A high-value man might say, tomorrow I'm tied up. Text me when you're free. Signal sent, I don't wait. I'm not dependent, I have my own world. 4. Combining both, Detachment plus high value equals impossible to ignore. She sees you don't chase equals she sees you're different. She sees you have boundaries equals she respects you. She can't predict what you're thinking equals she starts thinking about you. When a woman can't figure out where she stands in your mind, that's when you've already entered hers. 5. Illustrative story. James, a sales employee, always seen as plan B by women. After applying the strategy, he stopped texting without a purpose. He posted stories about work, reading books, and attending a public speaking class. He didn't explain or apologize for disappearing for a few days. 2 weeks later, 2 women who had previously ghosted him texted him back. Not because he became better looking, but because his energy changed. So, are you wondering, what's the specific difference before and after applying this strategy? Stay tuned for the next part, where I'll show you, step by step, how this miraculous change happens. Part 3, comparing before and after applying the strategy. Scenario 1, before the change, the man ignored. Character, James, 28 years old. Office worker. Crushing on an old college friend. Sarah, he has all the good intentions in his heart, sends good morning texts every day, replies instantly when he sees her messages, always asks, "Are you okay? Did you have a good day at work?" But then, she responds with emojis, then disappears. Eventually, seen. No reply. Silence forever. Analysis, James acts like he's already won her over, when in reality, Sarah hasn't invested anything in the relationship. He does more than she feels obligated to reciprocate. As a result, she doesn't value his efforts. She doesn't hate him, but she has no reason to invest. And without emotional investment, there's never attraction. Scenario 2, after the change, the man pursued. Same James. But this time he does something different. Doesn't text unless there's a reason. Doesn't like her stories or comment. Only posts photos of himself working out, working late, reading, or hiking with friends. 2 weeks pass. Sarah texts, "Been busy lately?" A week later, "Saw your story in Colorado. Looked amazing. Who'd you go with?" Analysis, Sarah starts imagining. She no longer feels in control. She feels the absence of something, the attention that was once always available from James. When you withdraw attention, people do one of 2 things, let go or chase. If you're truly valuable, they'll choose to chase. Behavioral psychology explanation. Scarcity bias. People value what is rare or hard to attain. When you reduce your availability, your perceived value skyrockets. Zeigarnik effect, psychology of incompletion. The human brain hates unfinished business. When Sarah doesn't know what James is thinking or doing, she loses control, and starts obsessing. You don't need to do much. Just don't do what every other guy does. And this brings us to the most important lesson, why you shouldn't try to be liked, but aim to be respected. Because respect is what makes women never turn their backs on you. Part 4, the profound lesson, don't seek attention. Attract respect. The hard truth, women can like you without respecting you. She might flirt. She might call you cute or kind. But without respect, she will delay replying to your texts. Cancel plans at the last minute. Never see you as a priority in her life. A woman may be attracted to you, but only for entertainment. The man she respects is the one she truly invests in emotionally. Why respect matters more than attraction. Attractio, short-term, easily replaced, based on surface-level feelings, looks, humor, money. Respect, long-term, hard to shake, based on how you control your emotions, set boundaries, and live by your values. Respect is what stops a woman from bad-mouthing you after a breakup. It's what makes her text you 6 months after you've stopped talking. How to earn a woman's respect. 1. Set boundaries. If she cancels plans twice, stop initiating. If she only texts when she's bored, don't reply immediately. 2. Don't fear losing her. A man who's afraid of losing her will be controlled. A man who isn't afraid of losing anyone makes others fear losing him. 3. Live with standards. Don't just chase beautiful women, choose those who respect your time and energy. When you have standards, you become rare, and rare equals valuable. Nice guys finish last, because they don't respect themselves enough to walk away. A real-life example. Meet Ethan, a software engineer, chatting with a girl, Emma, on Tinder. At first, Emma seemed into him. But after a few conversations, she started ghosting. Ethan didn't beg or ask why. A week later, he unmatched her, focused on work, posted stories at the gym. 2 weeks later, Emma found his Instagram through a mutual friend and messaged, "Why'd you unmatch me? I thought we were vibing." Why did she come back? Because Ethan didn't need her, and that made her feel small. Especially when she's used to men chasing her. Now you understand, being noticed doesn't mean being valued. But a man who is respected will always be remembered. So how do you act on this starting today? Let's move to the final part, where you'll get specific steps to apply and never be ignored by women again. Women never truly ignore a man, unless he makes himself too predictable, too accessible, and lacking clear value. You've seen it clearly. When you stop chasing, they start noticing. When you prioritize your own value, they start respecting you. When you live for yourself, not for validation, they become drawn to you. The man who no longer fears losing anyone is the one women can't afford to lose. Are you still waiting for a text from someone who doesn't think about you? Or do you want to become the kind of man who makes her check her phone every morning to see if you've texted? Stop texting first with anyone who has ghosted you. Unfollow the stories of anyone who makes you feel less valuable. Spend the next 3 days on yourself. Hit the gym, read a book, meditate, or plan your finances. If this video hit home for you, show some love with a like. And if you want to become the kind of man who can't be ignored, hit subscribe right now. I have an entire series of videos breaking down female psychology, masculine power, and how to act in ways that set you apart from 95% of men out there. Drop a comment below. How have you been ghosted by a woman? What's the hardest part about detaching your emotions from the chase?